May this be one of the best moments of your life. You're listening to the Business Mirror Podcast for a broader look on business with Senior Editor Dennis Estopase.
Good day, I'm Dennis Estopase, and welcome to Wednesdays with John Mangun, a podcast to be anchored by John Mangun, a columnist for the Business Mirror newspaper, and who operates a website titled MangunOnMarkets.com. Mr. Mangun will share with us one of the many pieces he wrote for his column titled Outside the Box, which is published every Tuesday and Thursday in the op-ed section of the Business Mirror. We hope you enjoy your Wednesday with John Mangun.
Craving for steak? With Steak.PH, the most premium steak can be delivered right at your doorstep. Call 0917-567-8325 for the No Mistake Steak, the best steak you'll make, or visit their Facebook page at Steak.PH.
Why China needs every country. In early 1990, I was asked by a cabinet secretary through a mutual friend to show a foreign visitor the sights of Manila. This visitor was an executive of the then largest bank in the world by number of customers, the Farmers Bank of China. Understand that the GDP back then for the Philippines per capita was about 4,000 pesos, which collapsed because of the 1989 coup attempt. And in China, it was $1,600. Unlike what is currently expected by visitors, our guests did not get a seat at the head table or a more impressive tour guide than me. Nobody even wanted to talk to China back in 1990. During our conversations, this gentleman told me that every Chinese government unit and agency had only one objective, and that all policies had to be geared in a single direction, and that was rice self-sufficiency. No one realized that this policy planted some of the seeds of China's current trade and economic problems. And it can be found in the popular Szechuan dish, mapo tofu with ground pork. In 1959 through 1961, the Great Chinese Famine killed millions through starvation. It was an event so catastrophic that it reinforced the importance of rice cultivation self-sufficiency. Nowadays, commentators with the China good, Trump bad narrative like to point out how China raised 500 million people out of extreme poverty, which is true. However, it was due in large part to rice self-sufficiency. After this great leap in food production, came China taking advantage of its ability to manufacture goods at a lower cost for export to the world, as Japan had done previously. As people's wealth increases, so does the consumption of high-quality food like mapo tofu made with tofu and pork. As recently as 1995, China was producing 14 million tons of soybeans, and they were consuming 14 million tons. By 2011, as the wealth grew, the demand for soybeans increased from 14 million tons to 70 million tons a year. Now note this also. Half of all the pigs in the world are in China. Tofu consumption grew, and the consumption of pork grew on the same path as their economic prosperity, to the extent that China's per capita consumption of pork and other meat is larger than at any time in the past 5,000 years. In the past year, we know pork prices in China have increased by 50%. In fact, it was up nearly 20% last month. Even in the face of import tariffs imposed by China in retaliation to that of the United States, American exports of pork to China were the largest in 3 years, up 120% in June. In total, 25% ahead of 2018. Certainly, the African swine flu has decimated China's pig population, but there is more to the story than that. China cannot produce soybeans as cheaply as importing them, either from the United States or from Brazil. But the reason that China needs so much soybean is that 1/3 of all their soybean production and importation goes to feed their pigs. And it's on a ratio of 1 part soybean meal to 4 parts grain. In 2017 and 18, China had to import more than 100 million tons of soybeans because they needed it for animals to feed. Now comes the hard part. Many like to think of China as the magical kingdom rather than the middle kingdom. So why doesn't China just grow all the soybeans that they need? China is big and has the highest agricultural output in the world. However, only 13% of its total land area is arable and can be cultivated. So here's the problem. If China was to produce all the soybeans that they need, it would mean that they would need to convert 1/3 of the land that they now use for rice and wheat into soybeans. And then China would have to import about 160 million tons of rice every year. Look, here's the reality. No man or nation is an island of itself, even China or the United States. They need every other country.
Craving for steak? With Steak.PH, the most premium steak can be delivered right at your doorstep. Call 0917-567-8325 for the No Mistake Steak, the best steak you'll make, or visit their Facebook page at Steak.PH.
Thank you for listening to the Business Mirror podcast. For a broader look on business, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Business Mirror. Until next time.